A huge life hack, a huge tip for you. Don't expect to be reimbursed. It's about 30, 40 euros per month. Always read your contract. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another expat talk, expat chat. I know there are many of you who are interested in moving to Italy and I know that you like these expat videos. However, it's been quite a while since we last chatted about all things Italy and living here, and today I want to talk about unexpected fees, hidden fees, or just the normal fees that you will have to pay when moving to Italy, and more or less give you an idea of how much money you need when moving to Italy. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the first thing to consider when you're moving to Italy is obviously the place where you're gonna live. And I know that in some cities, in some places, especially in Bologna, it could be a huge deal because finding an apartment is not easy. However, it's possible. But even if you found a perfect apartment and you like everything and you're happy with the price and the location and everything, there might be a couple of fees that you have to keep in mind when moving in, because first thing first, you'll have to pay the security deposit, and the normal security deposit in Italy goes from 1 to 3 months of rent. So let's say if you're paying 1,000 euros per month for your apartment, you'll have to leave between 1 and 3,000 euros as a deposit that will be returned to you upon the finish of your rent. However, it's subject to some conditions. It doesn't mean that you'll have to destroy the apartment not to get your deposit back. Even if you return your apartment in perfectly pristine conditions, chances are you will be charged for whitening of the walls, imbiancamento, it's called like this in Italy, and you will likely get a bit less than you originally gave as a deposit. So just keep that in mind. This is how the things work here. Another thing to keep in mind when renting a place is that if you're renting it with the agency, you'll have to pay the agency fees, but I think it's pretty much universal. However, know that the price that you see in the ad will not be the exact price you're gonna pay the first month. You will then obviously keep paying that price, maybe a bit more, but I'll get to it in the next point. However, yeah, at the beginning, the deposit and the agency fees will be something that will increase the amount of money you're gonna spend. So the price you're seeing in the ad will not actually be the final price, not the price you're gonna pay the first month at least. Obviously, you'll catch up then. However, at the beginning, you'll have to give the deposit and the agency fees, and you will also have to pay for the contract registration. It depends. Some landlords will pay for the contract registration themselves. However, it's a very rare occasion. Most times you will have to pay either full price or half of the price of the contract registration. So yeah, these are the fees that you'll have to encounter as soon as you arrive and as soon as you move into a new apartment in Italy. Another thing to keep in mind once you've moved into your apartment and settled down all the bureaucratic stuff are the utility fees. Obviously, you'll gotta pay the bills every month or every 2 months. However, once you've just moved into a new apartment, you'll have to activate the utilities, and you're gonna pay for the activation because I know that it works differently in different countries. Here in Italy, the utilities have to be reactivated every time a new tenant enters the apartment. So the fees is entirely on the tenant and the new tenant, and you will have to pay for the reactivation of the utilities, and also wait for quite some time until they're reactivated. This is the downside of Italy, guys. I love many things about this country. However, activating the utilities takes time, and a lot of bureaucratic proceedings take time. However, that's fine. You just learn to live with that and accept this thing as a given. Anyway, this is gonna be another fee. I cannot really tell you how much you're gonna spend because it really depends on each different region, a city, and on each separate case, on each separate apartment. And speaking of the initial price of your rent, it may increase because not only you're gonna pay the bills, but you may also have the condominium fee that you're gonna pay for cleaning and maintenance and all this kind of stuff, and your parking might not be included. You might have to pay extra fee for the parking place, your parking spot, if your apartment complex has kind of a parking right there, but you're gonna pay for it, and this is gonna be the fee that will not be likely mentioned in the initial ad. Here's, guys, however, a huge life hack, a huge tip for you. if you live on the ground floor, you don't have to pay for the elevator, which means your condominium fee might actually get lower. Now let's move on to the next point. Internet activation. Obviously you want to have fast internet access at home, and internet is rather good here, at least in the bigger cities. You don't have any problems with it. However, when you need to activate internet, you're gonna pay the activation fee here as well. Here I think I can give you a few ideas of what to expect in terms of the amount of money you're gonna pay. An average internet bill in Italy, or at least in Bologna, is about 30-40 euros per month, and the activation fee is somewhere around 100 euros. You can pay it either right away or in different installments. However, attention guys, always read your contract, because in most cases you won't be able to close your internet contract for 2 years after the activation. So that means for 2 years you'll have to stick with the same internet provider. Next up on my list, guys, is the mobile connection, mobile service. You're gonna obviously pay for your SIM card. I would say that mobile service in Italy costs less than in majority of European countries. Compared to other European countries, it's not that expensive actually, because I would say it's somewhere from 10 to 15 euros per month, which is definitely a very good price for the mobile service. However, when you are activating your SIM card for the first time, you will also have to pay the activation fee, which, if I'm right, is about 15 euros, more or less, but it also depends on each different service providers. So make sure you do your research and find the one that suits you best. The next huge thing to consider when moving to Italy and to know that you're gonna spend money on it is the car, obviously. But I'm not talking about buying the car, I'm talking about the car tax. I cannot tell you the exact amount of the tax that you're gonna pay because it depends on your car. However, you're gonna pay it every year, and keep that in mind, because not always they will send you the letter telling you that you have to pay your tax. It happened to me. I actually missed my first tax ever because nobody sent me the letter. I didn't know when it was due, where I had to pay it. I had no idea about it, and I had to pay my car tax with a fine the year after. So check in with the auto service, check in with the place you're buying your car. Just, do some research to find the nearest office to your place where you'll have to go and pay your tax. However, guys, if you want to know how to avoid paying this tax, and if you want to know how to save money on all other fees that I've been talking about, make sure to check out my Patreon page. I will leave you a link in the description box. I will make a post there where I talk about all things on how to save money in Italy on all of these fees that you will have to encounter once moving here. Another tax that exists in Italy, and it honestly makes me laugh because I find it to be hilarious, is the TV tax. Yes, in Italy, if you own a TV, you have to pay the TV tax. Even if you don't watch it, even if you, like me, use it just to plug in your computer and watch movies from your computer on a bigger screen, you'll still have to pay the TV tax. It makes no sense in my opinion, but it exists, and I think it's about 18 euros every 2 months, so like say 9 or 10 euros per month. If you don't want to pay this tax, check out my Patreon. Once again, I will talk more about it there. Keep in mind that when you're moving to Italy, you will obviously need a health insurance here. There are different kinds of health insurance. There is a public health insurance and private health insurance, and it will be different based on whether you are an European Union citizen or an American or coming from any other country other than European Union, and whether you're studying or working or not. There are many types of health insurance, so just keep in mind that you will have to pay for it, obviously, too, but this is something that you probably expect when moving abroad. The last point I wanted to tackle in this video is the fines. Obviously, guys, you're gonna pay fines when you arrive here, because sometimes you just don't know the things, you don't know how the things work, and you end up being fined for this. And this is a sad thing. However, consider it as a learning fee. I honestly had stumbled upon many fines, especially in my first years of living here, because I just didn't know how things functioned, and I ended up paying for that. But I've learned hard way. Once again, guys, if you want to learn how to pay less or how to avoid these fines, I invite you to join me on Patreon, where I will talk more about the things to help you live a less stressful life when you're moving to Italy. And that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed these tips and that they'll be helpful for you when you move to Italy. And if you're new here, welcome to Dramatically Expatic. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button down below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with your friends so I can make more videos like this. Thank you guys for being here and enjoy your day.